I follow a lot of artists on Instagram. I was looking at an artist and seeing that she was taking part in a show, the proceeds of which would go towards uh, charitable causes, directed towards Palestine. So it's like the bare minimum of what you could do is donate to a cause that's like a medical assistance for Palestinians who, of course, currently are being slaughtered and maimed and mentally destroyed for the rest of their lives and all that kind of stuff. And I saw that there were 479 comments. So I had a quick look, and the first handful of comments were shocked Jewish people who found that the idea of raising money so that, for instance, maimed Palestinian children could have artificial legs, things like this, or therapy. That this They found this deeply offensive, and they found it insensitive. Like how dare you? My God, I can't believe. I'm blown away that you would um, participate in this terrorist activity when Jewish people all over the world are hurting so much. Now, I don't buy for a second that these fuckwits that you see in every comment section nowadays are that they really represent Jewish people because there are too many Jewish people protesting in the streets. Um, so, you know, the evidence is there. Are you in the streets? No. So who do you fucking represent? Fucking no one. Wankers sitting at home commenting represent fucking nothing. It's always fake and bullshit and, to be discarded. However, of course, particularly at the moment, the comment threads are pretty insane. They're really camped out. They're really camped out on the comment threads, just being offended and heartbroken. For me personally, I had a Jewish friend sort of reach out to me very early on after October the 7th and ask me to be particularly sensitive to Jewish people who are really going through it right now. And I was very nice about it, I thought. I didn't like it, but I was nice about it. But since then, with everything that's gone on, that same person, I haven't seen them post a word in support of people in Palestine or post anything. They've just gone quiet. So there's another person that I had a very tiny, slight argument with. They've just gone quiet. They don't have anything to say now. Firstly, what they have to say is, my heart is breaking. Oh, my Jewish heart is broken. I'm grieving. Oh, grief. And then what they have to say when we see that the Zionist state is 1930s, Nazi Germany, really, they don't have anything to say. They go quiet, which I find to be, it fits with the whole cowardly settler colonial mindset. Even if you're a nice person, even if you're a good person, if you support settler colonialism, at some point you're going to have to be a coward about it. You can't be brave and strong. You can't be heroic. You can't even really be a normal, decent human being and be a supporter of settler colonialism, no matter what you think your reason is, you know. And I know there's some Jews who think that they have a special reason for being supportive of Israel, and I would say no, there are no reasons for settler colonialism that are good enough. It doesn't matter what happened to you. You know, genocide? Fuck you. I'm Irish. Don't talk to me about fucking genocide. Don't talk to Armenians about genocide. Don't talk to Rwandans. And it goes on and on and on. Gone through genocide, don't talk to, I mean, the list of people, even during just World War II, who were visited by the genocide fucking fairy. autistic people, disabled people, so-called gypsies, travellers, Romani, homosexuals, leftists, people who just think for themselves or think differently. You're not special because the powers that be, want to kill you. The powers that be want to kill fucking everybody, and the idea is that we band together against the people in charge. We don't carve out a special place for ourselves and say, this is it. This is who we are, the people who are the most special of all. I've been cured of any, what would you call it, sympathy for Israel or Israelis. I've always found Israelis to be very off-putting. Their behaviour is just fucking weird to me. But I'm like that with South Africans. I'm like that with Americans. I'm like that with Australians. I am Australian, and I find Australians, when they're Australianing too hard, really off-putting. I'm not saying I don't do it myself. I'm a settler. I'm white. But see, that's why I have an obligation to speak up about Israel and Australia and America and Canada and et cetera, et cetera. It's an obligation to speak up. It's an obligation to take action. It's an honour to do so that I take very fucking seriously, I'm proud to be part of that. Not as a way to whitewash my own sins, but because the genocide disgusts me. Evil, laughing, cackling, monstrous bullies, and that's Israel, that disgusts me. Their behaviour is horrific. These are the biggest pack of cunts I've ever witnessed in full flight in my life. And I've been watching the United States destroy other countries since I was a baby. The Vietnam War. That was one of the first things I ever witnessed on TV, one of my earliest memories. The American War. To see that how badly they're losing, It can be hard to see because it's so fucking horrifying. They're going after everybody. I don't have a career, so they can't go after me. You can't go after me. You can't do anything to me. This year I've had cancer, major fucking real cancer. I've had my address splashed all over the internet by Nazis. I've been on some huge fucking adventures. But what it's taught me is that there's no reason to be a fucking coward. And actually, when it comes down to it, you have no choice but to be brave. And if someone is a coward around me, if someone says, "Oh, Sean, you please be gentle around my Jewish heart," and then they fall silent when the genocide unfolds and they don't have anything further to say to me, that situation makes me incredibly fucking angry, but not angry at them personally. I'm just waiting for them to stop being a coward, I don't think that's who they are really. But when you're a settler colonial person, cowardice is just, it's right there all the time as part of your sort of fucking perverse arsenal. I guess a lot of us are just having a horrible, horrible fucking time right now, witnessing the worst thing we've ever fucking seen in our lives that just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. But the thing is, what you're witnessing is mass murder. They're not winning a war, they're just murdering people. So they're losing. They're losing all their friends, losing all their allies. Same goes for the United States, which could have stopped this at the start. They could have stopped it before it started. The US is going to end up with no fucking allies. Here in Australia, leftists are never, ever, ever going to forgive or forget. Not even leftists, just people, are never, ever going to fucking forgive or forget what has been done and what is being done. And all the fake fucking, all the crocodile tears that Zionists turn on and all their shit about how frightened they are about anti-Semitic attacks. It's like, what fucking attacks are you talking about, dude? You got to understand, we don't even think about you. We're trying to stop genocide. We're not thinking about vengeance and fucking horror. That's your thing. That's yours. You know, those of us who are against settler colonialism are also against mindless fucking revenge. As I mean, I can't be any more fucking logical. I can't make it any fucking clearer. We're not the enemy. You're the enemy, and you're your own enemy. You're your own worst enemy. You are destroying your own bullshit. We know it. You know it. You're going to keep fucking crapping on with your fake display of emotion about how begging for Palestinian children to be spared is anti-Semitic. You know, fuck you for that. But outside of that, we don't really think about you. We're not interested in you. Other than, of course, I mean, obviously, if we can, every single one of you who has supported this genocide is going to fucking jail if there is any justice. Okay, thanks for listening.